Welcome to the Polished Society. I am Polished with Bliss, and I'm here to polish up your life so you don't think twice. So, right here is where I'm just going to go ahead and get into the backstory. I want y'all to really understand who I am, who is Polished with Bliss. So, really, all of this kind of started towards the end of 2018. And this was when I had a quest to connecting closer to God. And in reality, this whole process of wanting to connect and get closer it turned into an inner journey. And that inner journey was where I discovered the authentic truth, my authentic truth. And I'm telling you, this has definitely led me on a path of self discovery. So I stumbled on this path. I wasn't really quite ready, but I made myself ready because this was a remarkable and just beautiful experience overall. So overall, I just was like a little scared, a little intimidated, like we all may get. And this was just a part of life where I had to go through it. And this is a part of life that everybody has to go through. So just to rewind and give you the backstory on everything, just a year ago, I was living paycheck to paycheck. And that really was a hard time that I've experienced. Like, I remember, just doing side hustles, trying to come up with every business idea I could think of, anything that I saw others doing and it looks like they were doing it and successfully achieving it. I wanted to try it. I wanted to do it. So, one thing that was the reason for that was I was trying to escape working the 9 to 5, being part of the program, as I would call it. So I was in a position where I pretty much just felt like working full time for another company was not what I wanted to do. Overall, I just was like trying to get out of that phase because like I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be able to spend more time with my children and have more time and energy for my own life. I'm sure everybody, you guys can relate to that as well. But I was like working hard, working 6 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening, coming home late from work. But just to tell you the story that really stuck with me is the fact that I was I had my kids in daycare and the daycare closed at 6:30 every day. I would speed in the car and just rush and be in this panic frantic mode, having anxiety every day because I'm all in someone else's time frame. I would rush to try to get my kids from daycare, from getting out of school, and it was just so much. Like, I was getting speeding tickets. It went from me doing all of this program and doing this to getting kicked out of the daycare because we used to be the last one. I was the last one picking my kids up from daycare. I was getting late fees from daycare, ended up getting speeding tickets. Speeding tickets turned into my license getting suspended. That happened. I cleared it up and got suspended again for not having car insurance because I couldn't afford it. I was making $12 an hour. That's the most I've made in South Carolina. And that was, an okay life because I know some people really making $7.25 an hour, $8 an hour. So, it's not that I was complaining or being ungrateful, but it was like my bills were not, suiting that type of lifestyle. $750 rent, light bill, all the regular bills, childcare and everything. So, and at that time, I wasn't getting any assistance, any food stamps, any ABC vouchers, any of that stuff. So it was hard. It was like being middle class, having so many bills that take up over more than 90% of your income. It's like you make decent money and don't qualify for the assistance. So overall, just with everything, I just was like doing too much. A lot of things was going on in life, and those things were things that really woke me up. It really made me realize that, yo, this is not working. I need to come up with another solution. Like, I really was thinking hard and I wanted to find out what would be the best option for me. And so, as a single mom of three, I decided that I had to do what I had to do to survive, which we all feel like we have to do as well. So fast forwarding from that phase of which I explained, I decided one day that, okay, I'm not going to work at these type of jobs. I want to be home with my kids. So I decided I wanted to work from home. After my kids got kicked out of the daycare, that daycare was closing at 6:30. That was the only latest daycare I could find to put them in. So from there, from them being in daycare, what I did was, my earring fell out. What I did was, I found a child care provider that really, worked for a little. The child care center was in her home. I tried a few of them and had different issues that came about. None of those worked. So I was like, you know what? I'm work from home, and I made up my mind, not knowing if it would be easy or hard to get a work from home job. And one thing about this whole thing of me looking back was that the whole time going through things, I didn't really feel like I had enough faith. But it's like I had the faith in sometimes, some periods of time I had that faith. So when I decided to get the work from home job and all that, the first part of the step was that I was faithful because I started acting upon what I wanted. So, for instance, I got my tax money that year, and I went ahead, got all of my equipment. I had a computer. I had the laptop on the side, but I got a computer because I'm like, if I'm working from home, I need the right equipment. I did my research, made a list, and I got everything that I knew I would need. The computer desk. I set up my whole office, everything that I knew I would need, the headset, and I started searching for work from home jobs. I bought the equipment before I had the job. So I got all the equipment, and everybody around me, people that knew what I was going to do, they were like, what? That it's hard to get a work from home job. It's hard to get this. Why are you going to waste your whole money getting all that stuff? But this is what I want to tell y'all. When you have a vision, you stick to that vision. Stay motivated. Stay determined for what you want, because it's the step of faith, the leap of faith is what gets you closer to where you really want. When you sit back and just talk about it and doubt it, sometimes things don't work out. So with all of that, I got the work from home job. Things did start getting a little better for me. I was still, making around the same average money, still living decent. Had a lot of different things, everything we needed we had. So it was just tight. Just tight. So with the work from home job, that kind of went well for a while, other than when it came to getting my children off the school bus after school. I had to be at the bus stop to get my kids off. And one thing that fell into an issue was the fact that um, the schedule adherence, which was something where they have a set time for you to go for your breaks every day, and each time it's a different time every day. So that became an issue. Me having to leave out of the house, working from home to go get my kids off the bus, and this was just a period of time where I was like, I have to do what I have to do. I'm not going to stay in the house and take phone calls if I know my kids have to have someone to get off the bus, and I really didn't have anyone else there to help me. This was just all me doing what I had to do, making it happen. So eventually, of course, my manager was working with me for a while up until she left the company, and they gave me a new manager, and that manager was not really understanding and working with me. So long story short, that job ended. And I was working for a good work from home company. I'm not going to list the name because that's irrelevant, but one of the other work from home companies I worked for after that, it was very well as well. Healthcare, customer service. I've done a few different very good professional type of jobs with customer service, and it was always some type of issue, but the issue always boiled down to the fact of it's nothing like working for yourself. It's nothing like doing your own thing, because with the second work from home job, when I first started working from home, let me add this in, my youngest daughter was just a little baby. I started when she was about 4 months old. And I worked through these work from home jobs because I said I'm not going back to work. I'm not putting them in daycare for them to have scratches on them or come back with, just different stuff going on with them. Nobody knew what was going on. Even with the home child care with other people watching my kids, it was always something. So I made up my mind I was going to do work from home, and I stayed strong within that. And I stayed with that for a while. And just overall, I mean, I had to do a 360 overall with everything that was going on. I started getting aggravated. I'm not gonna lie. I started being in that mode where I was getting depressed, like feeling like, dang, what's going on? Like I'm trying my hardest, I'm doing all that I could do, like I'm making moves. I'm always, someone that's thinking of the next move, a plan B, anytime something doesn't go right. So I was kind of, running out of options. So I just was thinking of every single thing that I can do and ideas and with my baby being small with that second work from home job, I used to have to get up and go give her her bottle, do different things. I had everything set up where it was convenient, where able to work with less noise and distraction. But long story short, of course, that job there was strict. They had me on camera during my work shift. There was a camera that while I'm taking calls, they could see me while I'm clocked in. So they saw me getting up. They saw me going, back and forth, running back and forth. It was like a lot. I'm doing my thing, going back and forth, running, in the room to check on my baby, do this, do that. And that didn't work either. So around this time, I was like, you know what? This is a lot. What can I do? What should I do? Something got to give. I'm like, I got to think of something else. So with all this stress and everything that was happening, it was just like so much happening, just so much. Overall, I was feeling like it was just one thing from another. So with those feelings, I just started to really say, you know what, I need to work on faith. I need to really, connect with God, because I just felt like there was so many things happening where I'm like, I know God is really trying to get my attention, but right then and there, at that period of time, like I was confused. It was a state of life where I was confused. I'm trying to figure out what is it that everybody else is doing that's successful? Why is it, a struggle for me? I kept wondering, and that curiosity was what led me finally give in. And I said, let me see what it is. So I started questioning things, and we're not supposed to question God, but I started really digging deep. Like I really started asking and praying. Like I started getting really deep with it. And when I started searching, everything that was happening, I was just really, you know, seeing people for their true colors. Everyone around, friends, family, everyone around me was like different. It was like a hard rock bottom time for me where I just kind of was falling out with everybody, not knowing who to trust, who to come to, who to believe, it was just a lot going on. So I kind of took time out to myself and went into my own mode, like a hermit mode, where I really just started getting myself together, because it was like I was breaking down. I ended up losing a job, that last work from home job, and everything started going downhill from there. You know, I was at rock bottom. I had to start getting assistance. I had to get on food stamps, which, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that when you are in one place and you have to go down, it's like it kind of drops you down to believing in yourself and everything. So it was like a lot of stuff was going on, and one day I ended up running into an older lady that used to work with me from one of my regular jobs in the past, and she remembered me telling her different stories. She was like you know, an older person that was very wise, that was really trustable to talk to. But anyway, she ended up asking me how I'm doing. You see people in the store and they just like, oh, how things have been, blah, blah, blah. And I started really just telling her a little bit, not too much of my business, but because I've always been a private and secretive person, kind of keeping things in, holding things in, always worried about what people are going to think of me and how people are going to look. So, with one thing I'm going to say with this is she told me something that sticks with me still to this day. And what she told me after me explaining a little bit of what was going on in my life at that time, she told me, and she said, God has a calling on your life. She asked if, am I going to church? I was like, no, I'm not going to church. And she was like, God has a calling on your life. You are going through this stuff because God's trying to get your attention. It's something He wants you to do differently in life. So that really stuck with me. That really stuck with me because she basically said that, he's calling you for something further. You have a calling on your life. He's trying to get your attention. And I've heard people say that to me many a times before, because anybody that's known me, I'm a strong woman. I always figure it out. But it seems like when things were happening with me, it was like a domino effect, like a whole bunch of stuff back to back to back to back. And when things was going on, it wasn't one thing, it was multiple things at one time. So all of this stuff was happening, and I realized, like, okay, maybe I am avoiding my purpose. But at that point, I'm like, what is my purpose? I know, of course, I didn't want to work for nobody. I wanted to do this and that, but what was my purpose? This was something that I was like wondering, what is it that, I'm here to do? Like, what is it that I'm here to do? I didn't feel like I had any talents, any gifts. I was just living a regular life, being a mom, being a mother, being a sister, being the roles that we are assigned here on earth. Like, I was just going with the flow. Wake up, go to work, come home, clean, cook, baths, homework, the same routine over and over. Not really expressing the real me that, that was passionate. Um, so overall, it's just, I know that something was pulling me over and over to get my attention. It's like when I say got my attention, like things was just happening and it was shutting me down. Everything I had, materialistic stuff, I lost that. Lost my car, lost my place. I was down at rock bottom, living in my car, and this is no lie. So overall, with all of the stuff that was going on, my grandmother ended up passing, and she was living in Baltimore, Maryland. Long story short, with all the stuff that I already had going on after the funeral, and me, living with a friend for the first time ever, and almost, I was 30 years old. I'm 31 now, so for me to have to be in a spot where I'm living with someone else, I'm like, oh no, I gotta figure something else out. So after my grandmother's funeral, I literally took a leap of faith. I said, you know what? Bump, South Carolina. That's what I said. And I was like, sometimes people say when you change your environment, things start, you have a new drive or whatever. But I was just like, bump this. Like, I'm not finna, I just wanted to start over from scratch. I just was like, I gotta make a move. I gotta make a change, and maybe this may help me. So overall, after hearing what the lady told me, of course, you listen to it and you have that moment where you feel like it's a little clarity, but I kept on going with the flow. I didn't go to church. I wasn't doing any of that, but it still stuck with me. So with it sticking to me, and I went and took a leap of faith. I moved out to another state, and pretty much what I did was I just started praying more. I started really searching for answers. So I went from confused to curious. And what I was curious in was, what was my purpose? Who am I really? What is it that I'm supposed to do? Because I know that everything I'm trying to do, I'm trying, I was trying, I was doing so much. I wasn't in a giving up mode. I was doing too much, is where God was trying to slow me down and stop me and try to get my attention. But I'm like, what is it that I need to know? So overall, long story short, I moved to Charlotte, and it was a very, very life-changing experience. So overall, like, I started finding myself, and I know it's like, it's not about the state, it's just about when you decide to get up and make a change. When you just start to take a leap of faith and conquer fear and just do something different. So it doesn't matter about really moving to a different state, it's just really, doing something different in life. But overall, things was okay when I first moved, but I'm not gonna lie, when I moved to Charlotte, I took that leap of faith. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of sitting here trying to figure everything out all the time. Maybe this time I'm just going to trust God. I'm just going to do it and just do it. So I was doing my little hustles on the side, of course, still making money as always. But of course, when you had so much and you lose things, it's like it feels like it's not good enough. So I was driving for Lyft, making really good money, over 100 a day. And things was going well. I'm like, okay, my plan was go to Charlotte, move, things was a little bit moving differently from where I was from. You know, it was a faster pace, more opportunities, more things going on. And I took the leap of faith. I was making decent money because driving for Lyft back then was like, it was way more traffic and everything going on, like with getting rides and stuff like that. Long story short, I said, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to do some other little hustles on the side. I'm going to stay in a hotel and, you know, stay in a decent hotel, whatever. And I said, I'm going to go ahead and thug this out, do what I got to do, you know, make it comfortable for now, but I know where I'm going. It's like I had that vision. So what I did was I did that and I said, I'm going to find a little job on the side because it's like, you know, that fear was like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, but it was like, I might need to get a job on the side so I could have a proof of that, you know, income or whatever to get a place. My goal was to work there, get, you know, a place and get on my feet and start a new life here where I moved. So little did I know it wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't easy. So this is around the time when, bam, COVID-19 came. All of this stuff came with the virus and all that. Things started slowing down. Things started shifting. Things just started really getting crazy. So the whole moral of this is I didn't know myself really. I thought I knew myself, the outer shell, but I started having a search within and I found myself. And throughout this whole period of time, this is going to be another story for another day, but it was a lot of stuff that went down, hard things. Lost my car, lost my place. Things started slowing down, didn't even have enough to pay for the hotel. Some nights had to sleep in my car. A lot of stuff went down, but that's another story for another place. But right now, I'm just letting y'all know I followed my calling because every single day it brought me to lose everything. It took me to lose everything to really get down on my knees and start searching for answers, not giving up, but just crying out, trying to figure out what is my purpose. You know, it's like I finally had to surrender and I had to say, you know, I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to do what it takes to find out as long as I know I will follow you. God, I will follow you. What is it I need to know? What do I need to do? So throughout this whole time frame, you know, it really got me into a phase of self-discovery. So I'm really overall, yeah, it's been a rough 2020 for some. I'm really thankful for everything that happened because with the COVID-19 stuff that came, all of this setback for some, this was truly a time for reflection. It's like everything happened in the right time frame because guess what? I really was able to narrow in on what I was supposed to do. I really was able to search within and find myself because this was like a period of time where we had to sit down, we had to slow down, we had to just be on lockdown. You know what happened. And during this time frame, I used this time frame to my advantage. I started being so hungry for the answer. I did not give up. I said, I'm going to learn. I'm going to read. I made sacrifices. Some of the sacrifices I made was I started really finding myself and going through this inner journey. I was reading, I was writing, I was journaling. I started doing things I never did, and I sacrificed TV. I sacrificed a few things. Yeah, it might seem strange, it might seem like it's weird, but when you want something so bad and you hunger for it, you have to feed that hunger. And that's what I did. So the more and more learning and growing that I've done, all of this journey has been an experience. I've learned from a deep experience that more than this video was telling one time frame. But throughout this time, I was learning so much. The more and more I came into that silent mode, searching for answers, I realized that when I started really questioning things, when I started really having that curiosity, when I started asking questions, literally, I started quieting my mind. I started really coming within. And I started really, you know, letting go of all those distractions and all this other stuff. And guess what? I was able to hear answers. My intuition started growing. I started really opening up and expanding to a lot more things. I started learning so much, and overall, through this time frame, whatever I wanted to know, things were just coming to me. Answers, answers, answers. No, it wasn't the physical money at that time, but the answers was worth so much more. That journey was so much more. Yes, it was sort of strange and all of this. It was kind of scary. It was kind of like doubtful, where you don't want to really believe the new stuff you're learning, but it was something that helped me grow. And one thing that I started noticing was I was seeing signs. Like, I would see white feathers. I would see, this is all after my grandmother passed as well. I would see numbers, and this is called synchronicity. I was seeing 11, 11, 11, 11 every day, multiple times a day. No matter where I was at, no matter what I was doing, I would be like riding somewhere and a tag would have it on an out of state tag with the 4 digits would say it. Like, I would be on Facebook or Instagram and happen to see the same amount of likes, 111, or someone called me right at that time, or I would be asleep and wake up exactly at 111. But overall, all this process was when I surrendered. And my eagerness was me knocking on that door. When you knock on that door, it shall be open. When you seek, you shall find. So right now was a period of time where I just had a new connection with myself, with my inner being. Like, I really found out my authentic self. And the praying turned into an inner journey of finding out my true authentic self. This is where I gained closer to spirituality. Not religion, but spirituality. Spirituality. This is a part of human evolution. People may not know. People may not know this, but this is an important part. I stumble upon this through my pain, my pressure. So I am a polished queen. I am a polished queen because guess what? Through that pain, through that pressure, through the hard times, when I was crying every night, when I wanted to give up, when I got off of Facebook for over a year, when I was searching for the answers, searching, I stumbled upon greatness that I can't even imagine. When I didn't love myself, and I didn't know I didn't love myself because I've always been confident. But guess what? If you don't really know who you truly are, how can you really love yourself? If you doubting or in fear and disbelief on certain things, that means you don't really know who you truly are. It's way more out there than what you think it is. It's way more out there. All these temporary circumstances and situations that happen, it's time for y'all to wake up and polish up. Like, all of this stuff, I stumble upon it through my pain and my pressure, and that's what made me come up with my platform. I want to be able to help people. I found my purpose. I want to polish you up. Like I say all the time, like, when you get down deep in the mud, like, you got to pull yourself back up out of that mud and polish yourself off. You got to sparkle and shine like the diamond that you really are. And this was like a truly remarkable and transformational period for me. So overall, if y'all wondering what is spiritual awakening, what is spirituality, it's a part of us finding out who we really are. It's connecting with your soul. Your soul is an infinite being. So everybody think that we're just physical people going through these experiences and connecting with these bad emotions that keep them down. But I'm just letting y'all know, if you can get past this and have awareness and try to really search, if you're confused, you gotta have clarity. And through the middle of confusion and clarity, that middle section was the curiosity that I had to have when I was searching. I wanted answers. And all of this awareness pretty much is consciousness. Consciousness. So this consciousness brought me to having a vision. When I was lost and didn't know what to do, it gave me vision. Like, it was enlightenment. So if y'all wondering how everybody's becoming successful, everyone is just randomly just blowing up out of nowhere and just becoming rich, wealthy, healthy, prosperous, abundant, and all this stuff. They had to go through that. It's still hard work. Some people sit back and hate on people and be like, oh, how did this person get like this? They just doing this, they just doing that. No, it's hard work. It's inner work. This is the work that a lot of people are scared to go through because it's the ego. That outer shell, you got to peel through that outer shell, that outer layer. But right now, I'm full of abundance. I'm just going to tell y'all this. My vision led me to so much more. I started manifesting truly the life that I always wanted. It's like a beautiful thing to now say that I am a millionaire, and I never would have thought that I've ever would have been one. That'll be another story for another day, but I'm just telling you guys now that I am truly grateful. I'm truly happy. And it was a point of life where I was not this way. Like anybody that really knows me personally, I came all the way from the bottom. Nobody in my family was rich. Nobody. I'm a regular woman like you guys. I need everybody to just wake up and polish up. It's more out there. Stop believing things that's going to hold you back. Start being curious. Start wanting to seek for more. Like, seek for more. All of this now that I've been through is keeping me full of love. My heart is full of love now and appreciation. I'm full of prosperity and abundance. I woke up and I polished up. And one thing that I'm going to say, I want to be able to help you polish your mind so that you can get on your grind. Like, I really want to just show people, help millennial moms see that let your pain be your gain. Let your story create your testimony. Don't let it hold you back. So, I'm just telling y'all now, I'm happy with the life I have. Right now, I am a certified mindset coach. Never would have thought that this is the path that I would have taken, but I couldn't be much more happier. So I'm committed to helping every one of you moms, every one of you women out here, because I've been there. I have the experience. I have the wisdom. I have the knowledge. It's a journey that is tough, but when you have an accountability partner, it can make it so much more easier. I did not have that. I fell out with many friends. I became an introvert. Like, I stopped talking to a lot of people because I knew that I was not going to keep going through that same cycle. When everything started shutting down, everything I had just started disappearing. I'm like, okay, hold up. I got to wake up. So, y'all, one secret I'm going to tell y'all is persistence. Persistence is really what got me where I am today. It was persistence. Whoever knew that it will only be persistence that I need to help me get me through this? Like, whoever knew? Whoever knew? Once again, this was just a welcome and introduction of who I am. I'm Victoria. My name is Victoria, and I'm polished, sis, with bliss. I'm here to help you get through this and polish up, sis. We starting this new year with no fear. No fear. Fear, that was one of the things that held me back. Fear, doubt, worry, disbelief, not believing things, not believing. I did have some good friends that stuck by my side, I talked to from here and there, and they all told me the same thing, and I want to thank each and every one of them. If you know me and remember the things I was going through, thank you. Because y'all told me that one day I would be telling my story, something that I did not want to tell. There's more to it, though. There's more to it. It's things I didn't want to tell because I was in fear. But being authentic and telling this can help someone else. So it's not about me. It's about helping others now. Now I'm stepping into my purpose to help others. I'm not letting fear hold me back. I'm not worried about judgment. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. So if you really resonated with this or want to look forward to more programs and just trainings that's coming up for this year, y'all need to stay tuned. The Polished Society is going to help y'all clear the anxiety, I'm telling you. So go ahead, y'all. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Policies with Bliss, okay? That's Policies underscore with underscore Bliss. And I have started a new YouTube channel. Follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Policies with Bliss as well. We're going to step into this new year with no fear. Y'all go ahead and sign up for the masterclass that's upcoming. The list's already like filling up. And like I said, we going through this new year with no fear. So this is something we're going to get through together. We're going to step into this new year with no fear. And I'm telling y'all now, y'all, just go ahead and get polished in for the win. Go ahead and get polished in for the win.